Good morning then, everyone, and it's lovely to see you today. So today, this Monday, we're going to do a balance practice, by which I mean to say not so much balancing on legs, although a little bit of that may happen, but more a practice really just to see when we're practicing how to find balance in the body, in sense of like integrating all of the body together, but also finding balance in the mind. So when one is pulled in one direction by the mind, because maybe one's enjoying a certain part of the practice, to then be able to flow into the next part without almost pulling back and wanting to kind of hold on to the bit that one's kind of not fixated on, but enjoying at that point in time. So that's the focus of this morning. So to start with, if you just make your way into a comfortable seated position, and when you've got there, just allow your eyes to shut and really do make any little adjustments you need to whilst you're sitting, just so you are comfortable. So the starting point is almost to set this intention not to strain, to create ease within yourself. So as you are sitting here, just note how you are feeling. And if there's anything, little or big, that you can do just to settle your mind and to settle the body, then really truly give yourself this space now to do that. Whether it's moving, maybe even using a chair, the wall, putting yourself up on cushions, or just adjusting shoulders, neck, spine, the skull. So you feel the body as settled and as in alignment as you can in this moment. And as the mind comes to rest in the body, if you bring your focus onto your breath, and following the flow of your breath, note how the in-breath flows into the out-breath, how it's quite seamless, that transition between the two. And as the breath flows, and it moves from one to the other, letting the tide of this wash over you, wash through the body, wash through the mind. Almost as if you're bathing in the breath. And without needing to be too exacting about how long you're breathing in breath to out breath, but see if you can just adjust your breath to find balance between in and out. Finding balance by bringing equal focus to both parts of the breath. That make up the whole and lead you into the next moment. And setting your intention of finding balance and ease. And doing whatever you may need to do to create the conditions for that sense of harmony and wellness to arrive within you. And you may like to affirm that with a few words that resonate for you. And then, in simple language and in present tense, if you plant those as an anchor inside your heart to yourself 3 times silently. And then your gaze soft as your eyes open again. And with your eyes open again, if you come down onto the spine, and you may want to here bring a cushion or a block, really doesn't matter which, you don't have to use this, even a blanket rolled up and just placed along the back of the spine. So when you come to lie down, you're going to be lying on top of it. So your thoracic spine, your chest, the back of the chest is going to be resting on it. And your head will be dropping off the block or the blanket, so it's resting on the floor. And likewise, your shoulders are hanging quite freely off that. So it's literally just across the centre of the chest. Hands can be placed on the belly. Your feet are coming together, the soles of the feet together. So your knees opening out to either sides and lying down butterfly. Just let yourself relax here, rest here. And feeling the body start to open. And as much as you're resting and allowing the back of the body to relax on the earth, so too find a sense of opening across the front of the body, through the front of the body. But just letting your body be here without actually feeling you've got to do anything. You don't need to push your knees apart or try to get them down. You don't need to create any particular sort of feeling or sensation. You can just feel whatever you are feeling. Finding balance through, across, within the body. To allow whatever is there to be there. Now allowing your breath to deepen for the next 5 rounds of breath. So you're taking a rich, full Ujjayi breath. So pulling the breath through the throat, down into the lungs. And you may start to hear the sound of the breath. And finding balance from in into out breath. So you're breathing in a ratio that's more or less 1 to 1 between the two. And giving yourself 1 more round of breath there. And then your knees coming up to the centre line. Roll over onto the side and ease yourself up, putting the block away. And with the block away, coming onto the knees, arms stretched out in front of you and easing your sit bones back towards your heels. And your forehead will come to rest lightly on the floor here. We're going to take another 5 rounds of breath here. So almost the opposite here. The front of the body is quite compacted in a way. And we're stretching out the back of the spine. And 5 breaths here of balance. Laying a deep, rich Ujjayi breath, and opening up the body with the breath. And from those 5 rounds of breath, easing up onto all fours, and from all fours coming up and into down dog. And you're arriving in down dog now. And just making sure your feet are balanced, there's symmetry between hands and feet. And then with a bit of bend through the knees, lift up and into your sit bones. Breathing in, let your heels rise up. And breathing out, your heels are dropping downwards. And we're going to do that for a few rounds of breath. In breath, heels rising, and out breath, dropping down. And we'll do another 3 rounds or so. Remember to listen to the sound of your breath. So if you can't hear your breath, see if you can deepen its swell. Just using the throat to pull the breath in and out of the body, down into the belly. And we'll do 1 more round here. And then with your heels lifted on the next round, just pausing, looking forward and breathing out, the feet will come up towards the hands. In breath, you're offering your spine. Come up to the fingertips, whatever version you like to use, hands on the shins. Breathing in, lengthen, and breathing out, folding. And 3 more rounds. In breath, lengthen the spine, look out to the horizon, and out breath, folding down the legs. Coming down into the forward fold, and let yourself hang here for another 3 rounds of breath or so. And again, see if you can find balance between the in-breath and the out-breath as you're here in Uttanasana. And as you did earlier in sitting, make any adjustments that you need to. So you just find more ease. So it might be bending the knees quite deeply. It might be just letting the head hang, the shoulders soften. Do whatever's going to work for you here. And then, starting to roll the spine up, go slowly as you do, almost like it's been pulled up with a piece of string. And you're rolling up, and you're arriving into standing. So your feet are going to now be hips width apart from one another, inner edges of the feet parallel. And in breath, reaching up with the right arm and stretching it over to the left-hand side. Give yourself a couple of breaths there to open out through the outer edge of the body. Breathing out, bring that right arm down. And with your new in-breath, the left arm will lift up and over. Breathing out, hand coming down. Both arms now reaching up over the head skywards. Root down into your feet as they do so. And with the palms connected above the head, if you then slowly turn your gaze up to the sky. And as you look skywards, do feel your feet connected to the floor here, so you feel grounded. Now, holding the shape of the body apart from the skull, start to turn your gaze down while holding the shape steady, down to the floor. Keep the body as relaxed as you can. And again, rooting down into your feet, the gaze will turn up. And with the gaze up now, just breathing freely, and with an out breath coming down and into forward fold. Take your time to breathe out, let the spine hang. And an in breath, when you've arrived, you'll come up into chair So you'll bend your knees, sit deep, and the arms will float up. Palms above the head again, and turning the gaze up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Onto your next round of breath, turn your gaze down towards the floor, holding the shape of chair steady. And another in-breath, we'll circle the arms around and back up again. Still keep sitting deep. An out-breath, coming back into the heart, the legs straightening, hands at the heart. Just keep following the flow of the breath, keep finding that balance between in-breath and the out-breath. And then, on an in-breath, circling your arms all the way up and over the head, and there interlacing your fingers so they're reaching up towards the ceiling, turning the palms up. In-breath, lift your heels. Out-breath, easing down. So do a few rounds here. In-breath, heels lift. Out-breath, down. Final round. And the heels coming down. Just keep the fingers interlaced here. Take them over to the left-hand side, the arms. Coming back to the center line, interlace your fingers the opposite way to which you were just doing, and taking them over to the right-hand side. Back to the center line, and in-breath, the arms separate now, palms are facing one another. Breathe in and look up, and breathing out, you're coming down and into forward fold. Arriving in forward fold, your version of the spine forward, look out to the horizon, and out breath, coming back and into down dog. With the in-breath, feel your sit bones lift up, like there's a string attached to the top of your pelvis, and it's lifting you up towards the ceiling. Breathe in, a deep full in-breath, and out through your mouth. With your in-breath, you're going to come down onto all fours. You're coming through and into a slow sun salutation. Your out-breath back towards your heels. Keep finding balance between both sides of the breath. In-breath, coming through into cobra. Slide the feet back, lift up. And out-breath, easing up and back into down dog. Arriving in down dog. In-breath, your heels will lift high. Out-breath, you'll drop them down. We do 2 more rounds. Getting ready to move forward now with your in-breath, the heels lifting, look forward, and the out-breath, legs floating through, feet arriving at the top of the mat. In-breath, offer your spine, out-breath, folding. Coming to rise, arms lifting up, root down into your feet, and your out-breath back and into the heart. Keep following the flow of your breath. With an in-breath, your arms circling. And your out-breath, keeping that balance through the breath, through the movement, arriving down into forward fold. Offering the spine, breathing in. And out-breath, coming back into down dog. Take a breath there to lift up into your sit bones. Breathe out. And then the next in-breath down onto all fours, back to your heels, breathing out. And in-breath, arriving in cobra. And your out breath coming back out into down dog. Arriving in down dog, 3 breaths, the heels lift with the in breath, the out breath down. Getting ready to move, the in breath, the heels lift again, the out breath stepping through. As you breathe in, offer your spine, your out breath folding. Coming to rise, breathing in, and out breath to the heart. Into another round with the in breath. And your out breath into forward fold. In breath, offering spine, and out breath, arriving back into down dog. In breath to all fours, out breath back to the heels, and then arriving onto your belly, getting ready to breathe in here. Hands underneath the shoulders, and now slowly rolling the spine up into cobra on the in breath, and the out breath arriving back to the floor. In breath up, out breath back down. And at the height of the in breath, you can look up towards the ceiling again. Sliding the feet back. Out breath, arriving back down. And the gaze will follow back down. So doing another couple of rounds. The gaze following the spine. And coming back down with the spine. Another in breath. Into out breath. And then this time we move into down dog, breathing in. The gaze up and out. Easing up and back into down dog. Adjust your feet again so you find balance. Feel that sense of lifting up into your sit bones. The cord pulling you up towards the ceiling at the top of the pelvis. And left hand coming over to right knee. If it's on the knee, that's good. You may be able to slide it down a little bit, down towards the ankle. And you're looking out underneath your right armpit, taking yourself into twist on 3 points. Breathe in. And breathing out. So hold the body as steady as you can here as you breathe in breath to out breath, in balance. Left hand back again and coming to the right hand side. Right hand starting on the left knee and then sliding down if you can towards ankle. And then you're looking out underneath the left armpit. Right hand coming down, and your right foot's now going to lift up behind you. So again, you're in 3 points of balance. So take a breath there also, just to balance your pelvis out. There's often a bit of a tilt through that right hip, so see if you can level it. And then follow that line out from your hands all the way into your right foot. Breathe in, look forward. And then, on another in-breath, you'll bring the foot through between the hands and you're going to flip the back foot down. Coming into warrior one, so your hips are facing forward. Breathing in, you're lifting up. Palms will attach, will connect above your head. And very slowly anchor your feet down. And then follow your breath flow, the in-breath, to start to turn your gaze up towards the sky. Keep your balance downwards into your feet, even as your energy and your attention is moving skyward. Another breath. And slowly transitioning into warrior two. Right arm forward, left arm back. Anchor your feet down as firmly as you can here. And use your in-breath to then find the lift up away from your feet. So finding balance between the grounding, the rooting, and letting your energy rise. Another in-breath also here. And then you're taking your back arm over to join your front arm and coming into a reverse warrior. Both arms are facing forward here, lunge deep. Right arm now coming out behind you, taking you into twist over to the right hand side. Just feel the equal stretch through both arms. Another breath. And windmilling your right arm down. The left arm will follow. Both hands will frame your front foot and you're into a forward fold down the front leg. Now starting with a bit of bend through the front knee. In-breath, offer your spine forward. So do this however works for you. You can bring your hands back a little bit. You can bring hands to the legs, come to fingertips, looking forward to the horizon, and breathing out, just draping the spine down along the front leg. Now you've got the choice here about finding balance. We're looking to lift up through this front leg, but going carefully on the hamstrings so you don't kind of go so quickly that then you lose that steadiness within the mind. So just exploring, drawing up into the pelvis, lifting up through the front leg, easing your energy out and back behind you, and rooting it down the back leg. Another breath. Finding balance from in to out. And then bringing hands either sides of the front foot and we're stepping back into down dog. Now if you're feeling energetic here, you can do a vinyasa. You can come down onto all fours, back to the spine, into cobra, or else you can just hang in down dog with your breaths. And arriving back and into down dog again. In breath, left leg lifting up. So as you did before, take those moments to find the balance from your hands up and into your left heel. And then, almost like you're stepping back away from the body, give yourself space in the way just to be present without actually having to kind of adjust or do or change whatever is there, just feeling it as it is. And an in-breath then, the knee will come through between the hands, planting the foot down, the back foot flipping in, and looking forward, you're riding up into warrior one. Arms above the head, the palms can connect. Anchor your feet down now fully, the gaze level, and then slowly as you anchor your feet, the gaze can come up towards the sky. So then you've really got to kind of create the balance by anchoring yourself and putting as much emphasis, even though you can't see the feet, into feeling them to hold you steady. Keep finding the balance between in-breath, lifting your energy skywards, and out-breath, rooting you down to the earth. And then taking transition into warrior two. Again, to soften your shoulders. And as much as you're grounding, earthing yourself through the feet, breathing out and down into the earth, so too, as you breathe in, you're finding a levity through the breath, drawing your energy up along the spine. And bringing your right arm up and over to join the left. So your gaze is forward now, and then your left arm is coming out and behind you, and you're coming into a twisting warrior. Right arm forward, left arm back, and your gaze over to the left side. Left arm coming down to the floor, and right arm windmilling all the way up and over, and taking you into forward fold down the front leg. So again, offering the spine forwards, however feels right to you here, and then folding down the front leg. And as you fold down, then just as much as you're kind of earthing yourself, drawing up through the front leg, seeing if you can lift up energy into the pelvis, and then you're going to root it down your back leg. So all the time, as much as you're kind of grounding, feeling that contact, as it were, with sensation, with the earth, with feet, parts of the body, in contact with the earth. At the same time, you're finding the sense of levity, space, lightness within mind, within body, and using your in-breath to create that, the freedom of the new breath. And stepping back and into down dog. As you arrive in down dog, breathe in, and your heels will lift. And breathing out, heels coming down again. And we'll do a couple more rounds. Out breath, easing down. Breathing in, looking forward, heels are high. Out breath, stepping the feet through. In breath, offering the spine. Out breath, folding. Coming to rise, breathing in. And out breath, arriving back and into the heart. And feet are going to be hips width apart, hands at the heart, and then sliding your hands down onto the waist. And breathing in, your right knee will lift, catching hold of the right ankle, and you're planting it into the left thigh, wherever you want on that leg. Do use a wall here if you prefer. Hands can remain at the hips, at the waist, else hands at the heart, and the in-breath, palms lifting up. Bring the gaze to level or down to the floor if you want. And as much as you're rooting into your left foot, allow the fingers to lift, the arms to lift up above the head. Another breath. And coming back down. Right foot down, and your left knee is lifting. So hands can start on the waist, you'll catch hold of the left foot and plant it into the right thigh. Hands remaining at the waist or else bringing them to the heart. And breathing in, palms will lift up. Just going with however your balance is today. There's me wobbling everywhere. Steady breath. And rooting down into the right leg, find the levity to lift up through the body. and coming back down again, left foot. Hands coming down again and riding into a forward fold, however you feel to arrive there. And there you're going to have around 5 rounds of breath or so, just to relax and let the spine hang however it wants to hang this morning. And just feeling free to put a little bit of movement into the practice. Just seeing where your mind and the spine wants to travel. And then finding your way into down dog. And just taking a few breaths there to allow your body to settle here. Do make any adjustments you need to find that sense of space, ease and balance through the body here. And then, in the frame of the body, following your breath, in-breath to out-breath, finding balance between the two. And coming down when you're ready onto all fours. Into a few rounds of cat and cow. The out-breath, your spine is curving up. And your in-breath, spine lengthening, lifting up into the heart. And so moving from one to the other. And keeping equal focus on both sides, both parts of the movement. So making sure there's a sense that both parts make a whole, the full circle. And paying equal emphasis to both in-breath and to out-breath. You come into the final round here. And then sitting back on the heels, and then drawing your feet around to the front of the mat. So just taking a moment, your knees bent, to really anchor down into your sit bones, and your hands can come behind your thighs here, and take a moment to lift up into your spine. So you're drawing up and away from your sit bones. Breathing in, you're just looking to find balance on the sit bones, your feet lifting up off the floor, just a fraction. Now draw and hug the knees up and towards your core. Breathing in, legs will lift. Breathing out, they're just hanging down again. In, knees lift, legs lifting. Out, dropping down. One more round. And then just dropping your feet down now and just hug your knees into the chest. Let the head hang down. Let everything relax here for a couple of breaths. You're as small as you almost can be here. And then arms coming behind the thighs again and coming into that point of balance, feet lifting. Breathing in, the knees and the legs will lift. Now that may be enough there. We're going to open up the arms here so they're stretching out either side. If that's too much, keep on holding the backs of the thighs. If you want to go one step further, the legs can straighten and you're arriving into bird. Now keep feeling that point of contact with the floor, with your sit bones. Use your in-breath, your out-breath to find balance. Another round of breath. Then drawing knees in and coming back and hugging in knees. The final round of breath, arms around the back of the thighs. The in breath, the feet lift. That may be the first and enough there. If you want to go to step 2, the arms floating out. And if you want to go to a final step, legs straightening out. See if you can keep finding balance between in breath and out breath. And a final breath. Knees drawing in. And we're bringing the legs out in front of you now. Feet coming to the floor. Breathing in, the arms will float up, your gaze looking skyward. And breathing out, you're folding down the length of the legs. And you're coming into forward fold. And as you've been doing through the class, here just doing whatever you need to do, making whatever adjustments to find a little bit more ease through the body. So maybe just doing things a little bit differently from how you may be acclimatized to do that. Whether that's taking your hands back a little bit, bringing hands to the floor, just adjusting onto the sit bones a bit more firmly. Seeing where your body would like to go, that maybe sometimes one forgets to notice. And coming back to your breath, finding balance within the in-breath, into the out-breath. Two more rounds of breath. And then you're coming up into sitting, and from there down onto the floor, onto the mat. Your knees are bent here, and your feet together, the knees together as well, arms out to the sides of the body. And as you breathe in, dropping the knees over to the right hand side, your gaze will go to the left arm. And you're taking a few breaths in twist. Knees back to center line and over to the other side. And your gaze towards the right. Arriving back to the center line and hugging knees into the chest, hands on the tops of the knees, and drawing circles with the knees. Cross the sacrum, the back of the spine. And coming over and switching directions to the other side. And when you're ready to, stretching out each leg in turn and arriving in lying down. And as you arrive in lying down, now take time again to really align the spine and the body here. So make sure hands are either sides of the body, palms turned up. The feet are turned out to either sides. And you're finding as much ease as you can find along the back of the body. And then balancing that with relaxing opening through the front of the body. As much as you find contact with the earth, You're finding this openness through the front of the body into space around you. As much as you're receiving the new breath, you're releasing, giving back, giving out with the old breath. And taking rest, however your body is, for a few moments. Allowing yourself to come out of stillness gently. So moving toes from side to side, tips of fingers together, and the skull gently one side to the other. taking a few moments to notice sounds around you, to notice contact with the earth. And to bring awareness to the flow of your breath. And when you're ready to move, you bend knees and roll over to the right hand side for a few breaths. And then from there, find your way up and into a comfortable seated position. And again, making whatever adjustments you need to find more ease in sitting. Still allowing the body to be in rest. And then your eyes shutting again, and your hands can rest on the lap. And tuning in for a few moments into this constant dialogue between inner world, the outside world around us. The breath, the bridge between the two. In breath, receiving, and the out breath, giving back. And just feeling the pulse between these two rhythms, between these two intentions that we all hold within our lives. And feeling an intention to create balance between those two impulses. Resting in your breath. The flow of breath guiding you into each moment, into balance. And hands arriving up in the heart in prayer. And as your thumbs touch the heart, they're bowing forwards. And the flow of your life, the flow of your vitality, and the flow of your intention through it, to this bowing and greeting yourself and each other. And your eyes opening again as you come back up again and letting go of the practice.